I want to have a chat today about the difference between maintenance and renovations to help landlords understand the importance of both. So first of all, maintenance is your run-of-the-mill block toilet, light switch that's not working, leaking taps, etc. And then there is renovation. Now, it's really important to understand that renovations are important in a rental property. You've got to spend money to make money, and landlords need to stop just relying on the rental market for increasing the value of their investment property. There is a strategic plan that I like to have with my clients to help them prepare for renovation work. Now, what's really important is that there is a difference between changing your crappy vertical blinds with brand new crappy vertical blinds, for example. That doesn't add any more value to a property. When we're talking about renovations, we're actually talking about what can an owner do and how can an owner invest their money into a property that's going to bring back a return. Now, the return will be on the rental return and also on the capital value of the property as well. So I like to educate my clients with a guideline surrounding this renovation work. So I work with a 10% allowance per year. So what that means is whether you physically have to put that money away or whether you can mentally put it away so that you know that there is going to be a time when you're going to need to spend that money. Either option's fine, but 10% is a really good figure. So on an average property of $400 per week, you have $20,000 per year. Like I said, physically or mentally, put away $2,000 in your head or in your bank account, however you work your finances. And at the end of the 5 years, you should be spending about $10,000 on the property. And that is to be spent on renovation. So that could be a brand new kitchen, it could be new flooring, new paint, new bathroom, if I haven't said that, something that really increases the value of the property. So that is important, and I find that landlords these days don't budget for it, and what happens is they get to a situation where their nice long-term tenant after 5 years has moved out of the property and the place is looking like it needs a little renovation, and landlords just don't have the money to do that all the time. So what happens is we then get to a situation where a landlord is stuck between having to possibly go get a loan, number one. Number two, renting out the property with a lower rent and to possibly a lower class tenant. Or number three, selling the property. Now, all three options are not great options, and we really do try to create longevity with our investors. So the last thing we want to do is having them sell a property just because they can't finance or because they don't have the money put away for those renovations. So the third thing I just wanted to discuss with you is the timing of the renovations. So if you have a really long-term tenant, there are certain things that you can do in a property that can help add value to the place. So it could be changing through the window treatments, changing the light fittings, maybe the bathroom just needs a quick freshen up. There's a few things that you can do, and that is important while there's a tenant in there because number one, you've got the rental income coming through and you might not notice, that bit of those bills that come through for the renovations as much as what you would on a vacant property. And number two, it keeps the tenant really happy, and the tenant's probably going to stay a lot longer if you do that. The risk you take by waiting for the property to be unfurnished and the tenant to be vacated before you do the renovations is you are then in a situation where you have no rent money coming through, a vacant property, and then you're spending all this money. And so it can be a lot easier to do some renovations while you've got a tenant in the property. So I hope all that makes sense. It's really to just give you that guideline of the difference between maintenance and renovation, how much you should spend on renovations in investment property, and when should you do the renovations as well. So I hope you learned something. I'm Ashleigh Goodchild, and I am always open to connecting with anyone on social media or on my mobile if you have any questions surrounding what I have been discussing today. And I look forward to seeing you all next week.